Why is inclusion so important? And thank you for your comment. The comment that this video was left on, the main theme that we're talking about is inclusion and how and why it's really, really important. And to get to the crux of why inclusion is important, let's just think about society as a whole. We want a world that's inclusive. We want a world that everyone who lives in it can access. And that starts by putting inclusive practices in place young and early. And I don't want anybody to be fooled when I say this. We have a long way to go just as a society in general, and especially in schools when it comes to inclusion in the classrooms. There's a lot of reasons why least restrictive environment and inclusion and inclusionary practices, why those types of things are kind of thrown to the wayside in many cases. But a lot of it boils down to funding and training. Because many of the reasons that students go into small group classrooms, and I'm not saying all students, small group classrooms might be the best place for a student, might be the best setting or environment. But I'm talking about for students who were looking to get more inclusion time, looking to have more time in the general education setting. Whenever you're considering least restrictive environment, you always start with the general education setting and move to more restrictive environments based on the student's need. This essentially means a smaller class size, or maybe it's even one-on-one, or it could even be hospital homebound. These are different levels. There's different levels to least restrictive environment. But the reason that I say it goes back to funding and training is because a general education classroom can be a great setting for a student who needs support. It just all depends on what that classroom has to make it friendly for that student's needs. So a good example of this, let's say we have a student who needs extra support, and in a general education kindergarten classroom, that's totally fine because there is an extra paraprofessional in the room or a teacher's assistant. But as they go up in grade, there aren't those assistants that are just automatically in the room, so they require more assistance. This is not at all how it should be, but if a school does not have the funding or the resources to provide the support that that child needs, in this very, very general example, I'm talking about like a one-on-one support, in that case, then another environment or another classroom or small group setting or pull out, something like that, might be considered. Now, we should not be making decisions, especially decisions related to a child's IEP, based on school staffing or funding or schedules or whatever. But unfortunately, it happens. And how can we fight against this? Well, we fight against this by really, really listening in to what is being said at the IEP meeting and making sure that the justifications for all decisions that are made are documented within the minutes and anywhere else that's applicable in the IEP. And if you or someone you know needs support, please reach out, schedule a consult, sign up for a time to chat with me or one of my programs. I am here to help. I really want you to know you don't have to do this alone. We can do this together.